Yo, Big Kish back up in here. I knew it was gonna happen. I was scrolling on Twitter earlier, and I was like, bro, Fat Joe about to be in some hot water. Lo and behold, Ashy Ankles here. He done came out with the video exposing him. Fat Joe got a podcast with Jada Kiss, and he came out and talking about you gotta have an album, you gotta have a soul, you gotta sell records in order to talk about music, in order to have a podcast. We already know Joe Budden is in the lead with this podcast and stuff. Fat Joe just coming out running his mouth. He already in hot water. But we gonna let Ashy and we gonna let what we gonna call him, y'all? Lunchable Man. We gonna let Lunchable Man explain it, man. Cause this is wild. Fat Joe need to stay in his place, and he already ran his mouth about the FBA. He already ran his mouth about it when he was with Mav Hoffa. They was holding hands. But before we get into that, y'all make sure y'all go purchase y'all copy. I just written a book, Street Dad, Geek Dad, Avoiding the Manufactured Mindset. Y'all please go cop that. The link is in the description. Y'all know I'm like holding y'all. Without further ado, let's get it.
Fat Joe is pissing off black people again. He's already back in more controversy. And black folks haven't forgot about the first controversy when Fat Joe called foundationally black Americans broke and dusty. This time around, the new controversy is centered around his new podcast with Jadakiss. While explaining why he started this new podcast,
Jada, get away from him, bruh. Get away. You too authentic. Get away from this guy, man. Do not trust this dude. He has a burgundy beard. Get away from him.
With Jadakiss,
and
Fat Joe decided he was going to take shots or take aim at the current state of hip-hop media, which is comprised of mainly black folks. Fat Joe decided he was going to take the place of authority in hip-hop media when discussing with Jada why he started a podcast. Fat Joe said he started a podcast because people like him deserve to have an opinion, and people like him is who the people need to listen to. And if you've never had a hit record and you've never done nothing,
Fat Joe, I think he's jealous of Joe Budden. Joe Budden is doing his numbers. The JBP podcast is doing his numbers. And you got a lot of these guys thinking they could just jump in there. Bruh, Fat Joe, you ain't built like that. Go sit down. You knock needed.
Hip-hop, you shouldn't have an opinion. Listen, bruh, if the bar is now, if you've never had a hit record, and a hit record is very subjective.
We're going to cut to the chase.
The difference with the Joe and
is Fat Joe a hip hop legend?
Just check it out. Everybody, what's gonna make the difference with the Joe and Jada podcast?
Clear your throat.
Authenticity. You know what I mean? It got to be an organic conversation, right? We can't ride the wave of what's going on out here. You know what I mean? This ain't that. And that ain't this.
That ain't this.
It's cracking Kiss.
Oh, see, my thing is when you talk about that's one right there. You know, when you talk about hip hop podcasts, see, I can't salute you if you didn't go and did a show and the promoter beat you for your second half of your money, or you went to a show, the promoter don't want to pay you.
If you haven't been through the farm league of what it takes.
Listen, you can't be sitting up here dissecting.
First of all, you need to know how to have some decorum. You can't even be speaking when somebody else is speaking. He making sure he cutting Kiss off like, bruh, you corny, bruh. You corny, bro. Fat Joe, you corny, bruh. You done lost a couple pounds. Now you think you got some say-so. Go sit down. You got your little podcast started, kid. Bruh, learn how to what Lunchable Man said. Learn how to read the room, bruh.
Checking the albums, and that's the problem we have with rap.
Fat Joe needs to read the room more. I'm not saying Fat Joe isn't a rap legend. Man. I'm not saying he is. I don't know, all right? Because I haven't really looked at Fat Joe's entire discography, his top 40 hits, his impact. I really haven't given it any thought.
Man.
But you have to read the room, bro, right? When you're currently in a position where people are looking at you like a vulture, they're looking at you as if you're trying to tether yourself to a particular culture, and they're saying you a guest. But then the first thing you do when you start a platform to speak about things that people believe that you shouldn't even be speaking about in the first place, you start the position off as if you are an authority. Listen, bro, I'm of the mindset, man, if you listen to music, you can critique it, right?
Fat Joe think he's some real life OG, bruh. You ain't Rakim and you ain't Big Daddy Kane, ninja. Get out of here, bro. Go wash up under your stomach, boy.
Yo, if you eat food, you don't have to be a top chef. You don't have to be a 5-star culinary chef to critique the food you eat to know if the food you're eating is good or bad.
Now, y'all know he like food. He just had to put some food up in there. That's why we call him the Lunchable man.
Bad? No, it tastes... Bro, we all have different palates. And that's the same thing with our listening ears, right? Like, yo, if I listen to something, if I'm consuming something, I can have an opinion on whether or not I think that's good or bad.
If I'm eating, right, and I got me a donut right here, that don't mean that, oh no, I gotta have the chocolate, though. I like the cream filling with it.
I don't think that I need to get jerked out of money by promoters. I don't think I need to have a top 40 hit, which very few people who ever walked the earth has. So if that's the bar, then just throw away the entire industry, bro. Get rid of it, homie. Like, get rid of it, bro.
That's true.
And we know you dudes who do got top 40 hits or top 20 hits, bro, y'all not about to be consistent, bro. Y'all not about to hop on YouTube and grind it out. Stop it, bro.
Yeah.
Yo, and there's a timeline.
That's why I said Fat Joe got his. I ain't talking about Jada Kiss. I rock with Kiss. We not talking about Kiss. This about Fat Joe. Fat Joe got his his podcast starter kit. Got everything written on the little coffee mug and all of that. I know that stuff was his idea. Was his idea. Now, if this was Kiss' idea, Kiss would have had the brick walls in the back. You know what I'm saying? He would have had potholes. Man, all that stuff is Fat Joe. I gotta be his idea. I know Kiss would have had rats up in the podcast. He would have been, that podcast would have been New York for real. Fat Joe got little pretty pillows and stuff all over the place. Man, get out of here, man. Go sit down.
Like a TikTok, a stop clock for how long this podcast is gonna last with Fat Joe and Jada Kiss. T.I. had a podcast. That podcast lasted like 3 months.
Source mics and all this. It's like, yo, you ain't even played the game at the beginning since the source mic
that you're currently walking on.
Watch this.
Like, to me, it's crazy, and it's not reading the room.
Since the beginning, since the source mics and all this. It's like, yo, you ain't even played the game. You see, the reason why we love TNT so much with Chuck and Shaq, these are legends. They played the game. They know the ins and outs. When it comes to Jada and Joe, like, we've been over, we've been won, we done had.
So he's saying in order to have a podcast, in order to be a hip-hop journalist, you got to sell records because that's what podcasting is, depending on what you're talking about. But we just keeping it hip hop right now. He's saying you can't be talking to, bro, what is you talking about? You really about to make everybody mad now. Cause you're stepping in here and you don't know it, bro. Bruh.
Moments, we done had anthems. We know the game. We done got beat by the promoters. You ain't really been real unless they sick pit bulls on you when you try to get your second half of money. Or you got to beat up a promoter and take the money in quarters. You know what I'm saying? Or you get kidnapped in Africa.
Kiss don't want to piggyback on that, man. That's why Kiss, please get away from this guy, man. Because he's going to force you to, because being though that's your business partner, you're going to have to try to piggyback off of what he's saying. Now you sounding like him. And I know Kiss don't want to. I know Kiss ain't rocking with that, man. Kiss was on the Joe Budden podcast. So what you going to say about Joe Budden? Come on, man.
We need our money, right? We need our money. So I'm going to take
my money and I need it now.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna get my so when I see these certain guys commenting, never had a hit record, never had a album, never, I'll be like, to me, they're not qualified. You know, certain.
Oh, my bad. Joe Budden did have hit records and stuff like that. But still, other people. Like what you gonna say about Dan? What's his name with the one with the afro? He know all the hip hop. You know what I'm saying? You got mad people that know hip hop. No hip hop. You mean to tell me they shouldn't have no podcast or they shouldn't have no point of view?
Put these mics in front of people.
Oh,
they lose some people just get caught in the moment and say dumb. You know what I mean? And it happens to the best of us.
Imagine the legends that Fat Joe is disrespecting, probably not even realizing he's disrespecting with this take. So Angie Martinez shouldn't be speaking on Hip Hop Fat Joe. So Big Boy shouldn't be speaking on hip.
Thank you for writing that list down. Thank you for writing that list down because I know I don't be writing stuff down. Big Boy, Angie Martinez. Who else you got?
Hip Hop. Nadeska shouldn't be speaking on hip hop.
Nadeska.
Jinx shouldn't be speaking on hip hop.
Come on.
Now Joe Budden has a hit record, but but Joe Budden record wasn't even gold. Like it just got gold this year. So by his definition, Joe Budden don't got a hit record because Pump It Up just went gold this year. So Fat Joe said, "What? Joe Budden shouldn't speak on hip hop." I don't understand why you would take this adversary stance. Knowing the position you're in when you just started a podcast. It's not smart at all. People weren't shy to take the social.
You should have came in the room humble. You should have came in humble. You just starting. This your first day. You about to get your feet wet and here you go. You pulling some weird stuff, man. Told you, man. He's not
the media to voice their opinion of what Fat Joe stated. You can pause the screen to read it all, but this is people essentially shaming Jadakiss for doing the podcast with Fat Joe.
Hey, I don't want them attacking Kiss. I don't want them attacking Kiss, man. That's not why you did a podcast with Jadakiss. You know ain't nobody watching. Oh, shit. You know ain't nobody watching, listening to you alone. Didn't you have a show on Stars already that no one was watching? Keep it trill, Joseph. That's not why you did a podcast with Jadakiss. You know ain't nobody watching you. That's why you went to go get Jadakiss. That's why you went to go get Kiss. You know he's gonna watch. You know we want to listen what Kiss got to say. We want to hear what. We want to hear that. You know what I'm saying? That's why he went to go get Kiss.
Essentially shaming Jadakiss for doing the podcast.
Dang, I can't believe you made him think he's really that. Hey, look, you know the sister's gonna get at you. You know, boo boo. Boo. When they hit you with this, it's a wrap. You done. They hit you with that. Come here. They get you with it. You done. You finished. What's this? Fat Joe explains why he started a podcast with Jadakiss. He says it to many people who haven't played the game or had a hit record.
With Fat Joe, like not really understanding how Fat Joe got so confident and arrogant.
So does that logic splinters were applying to Dougie Fresh apply to Fat Joe as well? They keep opening the floodgates with their nonsense because them using lineage and desegregation makes them sound repetitive to the parent movement.
Claiming that Fat Joe is absolutely wrong about what he's saying. Them saying that Fat Joe isn't really a part of hip hop or his music isn't an integral part of hip hop. One person says Jadakiss for the love of you.
Hey, look, Jadakiss for the love of you and D Block. Please leave this. I told you. Kiss, get away from him. Kiss, please get away from him, man.
D Block, please leave this clown, referring to Fat Joe. And they would just go off on Jada, man, for apparently helping out Fat Joe. Fat Joe.
Hold on. It's always a ninja that will help one of these lying Latinos. He said Latinos, but won't lift a finger for his own. This is going against the community, Jada. Dang, yo, Jada, please, man.
Uh, and they would just go off on Jada, man, for apparently helping out Fat Joe, who they call.
I can't read no more. I can't read no Jada slander. I can't do that. We're gonna have to skip through this right here, y'all.
Is for getting a bag to do a podcast with Fat Joe. I don't even think, is Jadakiss an FBA? Because one thing about FBA is they always say, yo, you could tell who's FBA by the hairline. Jadakiss has an African hairline, right? If we're being honest, or the hairline that people associate with Africans. That's not necessarily true. Yeah, but Jada has that hairline. So I don't know if Jada is FBA or, if he's an out of code tether, who knows? But yeah, I don't feel like Jada should be blamed for taking a bag for doing a podcast with Fat Joe. A lot of other people would do the exact same thing if they had the opportunity to. Now, one person in particular who thinks is severely unfair for Fat Joe and Jadakiss to be doing a podcast, to be like starting a platform and taking away from other people who are really doing it, who aren't celebrities, is our good friend Hassan Campbell. Here's what Hassan Campbell had to say about Fat Joe and Jada.
Mr. Rocket Snotbox, turn your TV off, Mr. Shall we begin? Yo, Hassan Campbell funny, bro.
Starting a podcast and Fat Joe initial comments.
I only got one problem with it.
I
only got one problem with it. Back when, back a couple of years ago, YouTube tried to take the check mark from the content creators, and the content creators flipped. So they left us with our check mark. Now, the word celebrity means those who are famous. So when you look at, and I know some of y'all don't like it, but content creators is taking over. It's killing. The rap game is over with.
Yeah, it is.
The rap game is over with. And if Jadakiss and Fat Joe is going to get on a podcast and start running their mouth, start talking about the industry. Because the rap game is officially all the way over. There's no more money left in. Ever since COVID, it's been dead.
He's not lying. A lot of these rappers are hopping into streaming now or hopping into media when media was just corny, because to them, this is like a give fast money glitch, right? Like they already have huge built-in audiences. They can just come on YouTube, come on Twitch, and they already have a higher foundation than most people. Like, for example, the Baby now cooks on Twitch. Now, the Baby does about, 3,000 to 5,000 live viewers. Now, he's no Kai Cenat on Twitch. However, 3,000 to 5,000 to start off, that's a pretty huge foundation. Like, to get 3,000 to 5,000 people to watch you on Twitch to start off, that's crazy, because like the average person who does Twitch for 5 years don't have 5,000 people watching him at a time. So a lot of these people are now seeing like the media game as the new angle or as the new get quick scheme. And a lot of them are coming in not for the love to disperse information, not to entertain, no, but strictly for the paper, because the rap stuff ain't working out, bro. Yo, the average YouTuber makes more than the average rapper. That's just a fact. And I'm not talking about the top rapper, bro. Meaning, bro, yo, if you are a mainstream rapper, like you for sure probably make more than the top YouTubers, but even that's not true, bro. Because, like, for example, does Cardi B makes more than Mr. Beast? Probably not.
No.
Probably not.
Oh.
I don't think so at all. I don't know who's another YouTuber, and their content are usually subpar, to be honest.
Us content creators didn't get no respect. We got called all types of names. We got disrespected. We got clowned. We was bozos. We was idiots. They called us every name in the book. But we kept posting content, and we created a crazy lane on this internet. Once upon a time, these niggas was running around talking about, I ain't no internet. Now on the street is trying to be internet.
I'm not one of these internet niches. How you get that podcast deal? How you do that?
And the sad part about it is, you YouTubers gonna act like y'all don't see what's happening to our numbers. Y'all gonna act like y'all don't see that our numbers are being faded out. It's crazy how you got these athletes and these rappers coming to YouTube and they being pushed in the algorithm, but the dudes that created this lane and made niggas in the street, because they act like, yo, the crazy part about it is these niggas act like they don't watch us.
If you want to say after a while, when YouTube or the platform has a lot of celebrities doing daily content and daily news content and daily commentary, well, that would expand the audience enough to where the audience would not be watching them and not the regular people. Maybe that's the case, but even that, I don't think so, bro. I think the audience is going to go to who makes the best content. Now, a lot of these celebrities got the production quality, got a lot, but they're not ready to give it up how I think a regular person is ready to give it up.
I think it's about the connection you make with the people. I think it's about that more than, matter of fact, they did tests, because I be looking at the YouTube, like they latest news and all of that, and they said, bruh, them lights and all of that pretty stuff don't get it. Don't get it. It's about your genuine connection with the people, your ability to keep it raw. That's what people connect with, keeping it raw. And they did studies on it. It ain't no jump. It ain't about the jump cuts. It ain't about retention editing. It's not about the lights and how you could jump over here and whoa, look at all this commotion. It ain't about none of that. It's about how raw you could keep it and how relatable you could be. They did the studies on it.
Like, I come on this platform, bro, and bro, I tell y'all how it's F rappers every day, bro. I tell y'all what I don't like, who I don't like, why I don't like it, and I violate, bro. These celebrities got relationships to protect. They're not about to give it up. So I feel like there's still going to be a lane for us, even though if those celebrities come in, they have wild success. And YouTube is big enough for everybody to eat, right? Like,
that's what people don't understand. That's why I don't like when ninjas be getting on the head like, oh, it ain't enough for bruh. YouTube got that bag, bruh. They got that bag. It's enough for, trust me, it's enough for everybody. Ain't no need to be fighting with nobody. Trust me. I did the knowledge.
It's big enough for everybody to eat. Now, what I don't agree with, and this is where Hassan is getting to, Hassan believes that the platform YouTube is pushing the button to suppress the regular content creators and push the celebrities, which I don't think that's true. I feel like the algorithm works with click-through rate and retention time, meaning if YouTube show your video to a lot of people and a lot of them click on it and watch it to the end, your video is going to get pushed in the algorithm. If YouTube shows your video to a lot of people and very few click on it and they don't watch it to the end, YouTube, like that tells the algorithm this is a bad video. So I don't feel like it's YouTube pushing buttons. I feel like the audience is picking and choosing who they want to listen to. And a lot of people were getting a lot of views when the market wasn't this saturated. Now it's saturated. And now people have to stand out in different ways. And the audience is choosing not to watch the people they've been watching for years before, there was competition.
My only problem with all these celebrities coming to YouTube is that somebody behind the scenes is pushing them in the algorithm to our audience and slowing us down to our audience. And that's not fair. And I'm sitting back and I'm watching all these different channels. I'll give you a prime example. You got a dude named CJ So Cool, right? CJ So Cool got 9 million YouTube followers. 9 million. The nigga only barely getting 20 and 30,000 views on his channel, when he usually get millions of views. Nigga get like 200,000 or 300,000 views in 24-hour period. Now they got the nigga, a dude with 9 million subscribers getting 20 million views. 20,000 views. That's insanity.
9 million subs. That's crazy. 9 mil? We ain't talking about 2 mil. We ain't to 9 mil.
It's insanity. I usually get 100,000 views every video for years. I slowed down. They started messing with me in the algorithm. And now I'm posting videos up after 3 hours on YouTube. My channel, my video is not even growing no more. Somebody hit the brakes on my channel.
What Hassan is speaking on isn't totally crazy because YouTube has admitted there are certain mechanisms they have in place to make sure that, you know, that you don't show up in the search results. But I don't feel like that applied when it comes to CJ So Cool or Hassan. With CJ So Cool, he has other reasons for why his channel isn't really doing as well as it used to. His family broke up, the fan base separated, he acquired a lot of people over a certain time. He amassed a lot of followers with like YouTube Shorts. YouTube Shorts don't watch long form content. It's a lot. With Hassan Campbell, I just think is, in 2016, 2017, when like Hassan Campbell was doing those numbers, or 2018, when Hassan was doing those numbers, that was a time where the market really wasn't saturated, bro. Like the only people who was really on YouTube doing hip hop commentary, you had academics, you had Relatable Oddball, which is my guy. I want him to come back. I feel like the culture needs Relatable Oddball. You had Diamonds Live. Yeah, and that was about it, to be honest, bro. Right? So when you are somebody who came in with something completely new, you were the street dude who's anti-streets. Well, that message, like captivated a lot of people because you was a breath of fresh air. You was different. But now you have 1,000 street dudes say the same thing and doing the same thing.
Yeah, so they saying that I don't know, man. I don't know. That's why I just make videos, man. I don't even be looking at the numbers, bro. I just make them and then hey look. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, y'all let me know what y'all think about Fat Joe up there saying what he's saying. You gotta have #1 records. Y'all wasn't in it like that. You know what I'm saying? Y'all wasn't in it. Is he getting that push? Is other content creators being suppressed? I don't know about that part, but as far as him saying that don't nobody need to be speaking on hip hop, and bruh, people been speaking on hip hop without having a #1 record. People been speaking on hip hop without even rapping. People been speaking on hip because you got fans of hip hop. The people are gonna talk. So basically, what you're saying is that don't no fans need to have no discussions on hip hop because these podcasts are fans of hip hop. I think he got too happy, feet. I think he's got too happy. It's like, all right, we got our setup. I got my coffee over here. Got Joe and Jada. I'm about to do my. He wasn't even letting Jadakiss talk. I want to see Jadakiss and Styles P with their own joint. Brick walls in the back. You know what I'm saying? Got that every 30 minutes you got a fiend coming to him or something like that. Just to replicate the streets. You know what I'm saying? That was evil as hell. Oh man, I'll be rambling. I'm probably too tired. I'm probably sleepy. But yeah, y'all let me know what y'all think. Yeah. Hey, look, I'm not perfect. Y'all let me know what y'all think, man. I'm gonna leave a link in the description, man. Big Kish signing out. I'm going, y'all.